and I invited her to be back on the show. Author, entrepreneur. You can Google her. Check out grit, growth, intention, resilience, tenacity. I think I got those mixed up.
You did.
I think I spelled something else. I think I spelled a dirty word.
Uh-oh.
So good to see you again.
It's gritty.
Welcome back.
Good. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I was telling the guys, you were no help at all when I asked what you want to talk about. And you're like, I don't know.
I'm an open book. Just ask.
It's fine.
Yep.
So let's start out with
Sure.
a proper introduction by yourself to the audience in case people didn't hear you a month ago.
Okay, cool. So I am a serial entrepreneur. I've published 7 international best-selling anthologies, and I have a women's group that I lead here in St. Louis to just really help and empower women with amplifying their voices and, pushing through the suck, sharing hard stories so those can always find a way out, that there's always options. So I do that. I have a jewelry line. I'm actually on Blue Info too. I have Elevate and Lead show, and then I just took over as publisher for Webster Groves magazine. So
kind of a slacker.
Yeah, and I got 3 boys.
Yeah.
It's called ADHD.
You're making me feel really, really bad about myself. I do
true.
this and I lay on the couch.
There you go.
So,
hey, whatever works.
Yeah, that's my side hustle.
Yeah.
So I know a little bit about you from just knowing you and researching you, and I know that you have dyslexia.
I do, yeah.
And when we talked before, like I was asking you because I don't. It's one of the things I don't have. But I was asking, like, what does that feel like inside
it sucks. It's a challenge every day. Like, I think that's why I constantly push myself to do the things that I hate doing, which is reading and writing and publishing books. So it's like you think of a word and you can't figure out what that word is. So you have to think of like 12 other words with the same meaning. And yeah, it's just a challenge every day. So if you've seen my post on LinkedIn, thankfully AI cleans it up, but a lot of time it's just like not grammatically correct or it's the wrong word with the wrong meaning. It's not what I'm actually seeing or saying.
Is it Alzheimer's that you're trying to think of a word, you just can't get it?
No, it's right there, and it's not like the same word that I'm always missing. It's always a different word all the time. Yeah. And generally it's with the same first letter. So that's where I really get hung up. Like if I'm texting, it'll be like, I'm thinking of fish, but I type face, because of the F. And then after I review it, I'm like, oh, it's the wrong word.
Yeah.
So it's kind of trippy.
Did you have good educational support when you were little, or did people just think you were dumb?
Well, my mom was always my backbone, but I do think they thought I was dumb. And I was always, in the resource room, so I looked like I was dumb
the
too.
Resource room.
So, yeah, but I constantly didn't want to tell anybody that I had a disability. I didn't want any extra help. I didn't want any extra support. So, yeah.
So would that version of you be surprised at what you're doing today?
Absolutely. I didn't even think I was going to graduate from high school. So I didn't have any really belief in myself that I was intelligent, but my mom kept having my IQ tested to really show that there's a deficit, and it's just something we have to figure out. So, no, I would have never thought this would be my life. So,
what did you plan in college? What was your...
Well, as a first-generation college student, I was kind of just thinking I'd go into business because all my family owns businesses. So I thought, hey, I can do that. So that's essentially what I thought. But then I realized I like people and I like helping. So then that's where the psychology came from, and just, the master's in counseling and all that kind of stuff. So...
Rachel, you feeling the same thing I'm feeling? Like, I feel so different from Jennifer. Like, we know each other well enough that we have lots in common, but her whole, I knew I could go into business. I've never known I could do anything. I promise you, I've never had the thought clearly I can do this. It's always been like, well, you don't have a chance in hell at that.
Well, it's like the only option, right? It was like, hey, I can sell Girl Scout cookies. I can start selling anything. So
it's cool though, because you do feel empowered to take these things on, and then you've kind of taken that and turned it around, and now you're helping to empower other people with what you do.
I think it's fallen on your face so many times where it's just like, I have resiliency and I can handle rejection and defeat. So it's like, why not just try it and see if it works or it doesn't, So, and then you learn more about yourself on that way.
Yeah.
So.
Were you ever afraid of rejection? Was that something you had to overcome, or has it always been easier for you?
Was raised in a family where you had to have thick skin. So I think it's kind of been ingrained in who I am. I mean, I'm never going to say that I'm not fearful of anything. Like even this weekend, I was driving the 4-wheelers and it just rained and I'm trying to drive it up this hill and I'm like, are we going to make it? And I'm like, we're going to make it. So I don't know. It's just kind of that mindset of making sure that there's a little bit of fear, and that's the exciting part, but just believing in yourself and then just pushing your limits. So
I just saw something, because a lot of the work that Jennifer does is with women, and I knew this, and we've talked about it on the show before, but I saw the factoid again, and it just blows me away that 1974 was the first year that women were allowed to get a credit card in their own name. Before that, it had to be in their husband's name.
Yeah.
I was 10. Like, this is not ancient history. In my lifetime, women couldn't get a credit card. What does that do to you as someone who makes their living empowering women? It has to just...
Well, I saw both dynamics. I saw my grandma who didn't even graduate from high school. She got married when she was 16, had babies at 18, and she was a stay-at-home wife, which all kudos. That takes a lot of courage, but she didn't have any desire to have a life outside of that. And then I saw my mom who stepped in and like put herself through night class and was a top F&I producer in the car industry. She was just hard, right? So it's I saw both of those dynamics. I knew I wanted both. Like I wanted the family. I also wanted to have the career and the success. But it's like in order to level up, we have to look at those that have paved the path before us. And I'm grateful because it gave me perspective and it helped me shape like what I wanted. And I want to empower our youth. And that's like actually my next mission. So
yeah, tell me about that. What are you concerned about with young girls?
I just, there's so many people that are out on social media feeding girls with bad, I don't know, representation about what is okay for women and what is not okay. And generally it's all about body image and they don't see their worth beyond their beauty. And it's like, why can't you have it all? Why can't you have brains and beauty? You can have a career and still have a family, and it's just about balance. So really teaching our girls that, respect yourself and see what you're capable of doing and just do those hard things. Yeah.
Let's have that. We've had this discussion, Rach, with you, and let's have it with all of us. As a middle-aged dude, I only understand it from my side of the fence. But it seems to me that I've never been bombarded with more images of women, like TikTok and just everywhere. Mm-hmm. And I know that there's a sentiment out there that like, yeah, women are taking back our bodies and we're going to show them when we want to show them and it's empowering and so forth. But you're still showing your body to a whole bunch of guys that are like no guys thinking like, good for you. You're
right,
empowering.
You're so smart.
Like, look at those boobs. I mean, it just seems like a conundrum to me.
Yeah, I don't know about that balance. I don't know. I guess I have a more conservative views with that. I really think that you should put yourself like first in regards to like your brain, So I don't know. I have a different stance.
I mean, what about for young women? Like, what does that say? Phoebe's 20. Yeah. She's right in the wheelhouse of that,
Yeah. I just think it shows that you have more worth, You shouldn't have to put your body on display to have someone take interest in you. You should really figure out, hey, I'm interested in this and you're interested in that, and like have those conversations, Yeah. I don't know. It's just interesting. And like my whole passion with owning your grit for our youth is really helping them identify the times that they've had to be resilient so then they can say, hey, the next level is going to be that much more easier because I've built that much thicker skin. Yeah. So, because in this world of technology, it seems as though everything's so instantaneous. So there hasn't been a lot of like resilience that's been built up with these kids. They just get what they want when they want it.
Yeah, that's a good point. We're talking to Jennifer Bardot. She's the author of Grit, Growth, Resilience, Intention, and Tenacity. And I was reading through some of your stuff, and I thought it was an interesting point that you're making, that it's one thing to empower people and to motivate them, but it's another that you were talking about that a lot of women have trouble identifying their strengths. Like, okay, I'm ready. Jennifer, let's go get them. But I don't know what I'm good at.
Well, it's interesting. Like, here's these incredible leaders that I've featured in these books. There's like 275 of them. And every time I reach out to them, I'm like, hey, you want to share your story? They're like, I don't have a story. And I'm like, yeah, you do. Like, take the time to reflect and like see your journey, and like everything that you've gone through has shaped you into who you are. And that is a powerful story. And that's the whole purpose of Grit, is to really create this like blueprint of other options when people are feeling stuck and they have no other options. So I think it is really powerful when women actually take the time to reflect, to see all that they've gone through, to push themselves to that next level. And what you see happen is they do that self-reflection, and all of a sudden they're like re-sparked and re-energized, and then they level up with whatever it is meaningful for them. Yeah. So.
And you have boys.
I do.
Young boys.
Yeah, I'm not a feminist. I love my boys.
What do you, if it is intentional, which is a part of your title, what do you want to teach them about women, about girls?
Well, I really think it's important to show that, one, women need to be respected, right? We're equals, and we have a place in this world outside of the home, So really, I teach my boys that I'm capable of doing anything that they're capable of doing, and just really setting those dynamics. But, sometimes those old school principles seep in, and my boys are like, well, Mom. And then sometimes they forget that I am a woman. I'm like, dude, I don't want to do that. So go hang with grandpa, So I don't know. I just think it's good that you teach our youth that we're both capable of all things. Gender doesn't really matter, Just do what you desire and like find your interest and your value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that. I remember being in like first or second grade, which would have been in the early 70s, and the big push for feminism and equal rights. And I remember the teacher making the point to all of this, like, now girls are just as good as you. And I was flabbergasted because Wendy Dresch was so much smarter than me. And I was like, why are you telling us this? Like,
I was like, we know.
Friggin' duh. Have you seen Michelle Hanfelter spell? Like, it's just funny that I have that distinct memory of just wondering, like, why do you have to tell anyone this? I don't get it.
And I was the weird girl who couldn't read and write, which I was an oddball for most girls because usually that's their strength.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What are you still afraid of? Or what do you still try to conquer?
I actually think it's that insecurity within myself of just really always struggling with not feeling like you're enough because there's a disability that I'll have till I die. So it's like, well, there it is. So let's spotlight that until I can no longer feel insecure.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
How do people find the book?
Amazon, Kindle, Barnes & Noble, Walmart.
Do you do private coaching as well?
Yeah, I do. I do grit coaching, and then I do individual as well. Yeah.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Always great to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.